Welcome to the Villagers Chit Chat. Today we shall talk about the farming laws. Friends, we have been sloganeering for last so many decades. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. But is it practically implementable? Have farmers got the real respect that they deserve? That is the primary question that we are asking. And the simple answer is quite no. Because before a couple of months, the farmers implemented 3 different laws which seems to be completely contrary to the interest of the farmers. And that clearly shows the dedication of the government towards the farmer. Now a question comes, why farmers is opposing these 3 laws? That is the primary questions. First, before going into the details, let's talk in the brief that what are the different problems that lies with this laws due to which farmers are opposing. There are 3 laws. Titles of those laws are very lengthy in nature. So we shall not go into the titles. We shall try to understand briefly to these 3 laws. The first law talks about APMC. Out of APMC market, you can sell your produce. That is the primary thing that first law is saying. So the thing is that earlier also farmers were selling those their produce out of APMC. So what is the newness in this law? That is the primary questions. Friends, there is well statistics. And SSO statistics says that only 6% of the farmers they sell their produce with a MSP rate. The rest of the 94% of farmers they are not getting adequate price that they deserve. So by implementation of this law, as this law is clearly saying that you can sell your produce out of APMC market. That means the corporate, all the private entities, they will get a scope to exploit the farmers. Earlier also the farmers were exploited, but this will legalize the exploitations. So instead of providing infrastructure to the farmers, they are unnecessarily implementing such kind of laws that is exploitative in nature. The very second law talks about Essential Commodity Act. Let's have an understanding about the historical perspective of this act. In 1955, an act was passed which is Essential Commodity Act. That act says that you cannot hoard any amount of commodities. There are certain essential commodities that you have limitations to hoard those commodities. This particular act says that you can hoard any amount. After the implementation of this act, what the corporate entities will do, they will hold a huge amount of commodities, by which what will happen, there would be artificial scarcity in the market. When there will be artificial scarcity in the market, then price will escalate. When the price will escalate, the consumer will be ultimately sufferer of this particular act. So that is why this particular law gives you freedom to hoard any amount, which will ultimately helpful for the black hoarders. The third law talks about contract farming. First, let us understand what is contract farming. The meaning of the contract farming is that the corporate entities will come and they will make a contract with the farmers, and according to that contracts, the farmers will cultivate their lands, and whatever the produce they will get, those produce will be sold to those corporate entities according to the contract that was made earlier. So what will happen? What is the problem in this act? Let us understand. The very problem in this act is when the contract will be signed between corporate entities and the farmers, the question is that are the farmers are educated enough to understand those contracts? But because there will be so many legal terms, there will be so many complexity to which farmer hardly will understand all these things, due to which they may subjected to exploitations. If the corporate entities will not procure those products with the contract price, will farmer be able to go to the courts and challenge against those corporate entities? That is the primary questions that we are asking. The government or the ruling party is saying that this movement is motivated by opposition political parties. They are also saying that this is Naxalite movements or urban Naxals. Some people are saying that the farmers are anti-national. Some are saying that this is a part of Khalistani movement. They try their best to defame the farmer protest by branding all these things. How dare you defame the farmers like this? That is the primary question that we are asking. What do you think? Do the farmers have interest to suffer themselves in the cold situations? In Delhi right now there is 5 degrees Celsius, 4 degrees Celsius, such severe cold conditions they are protesting. They have been protesting for the last 2 months. What do you think? Is it a hobby of the farmers? If their interest is not violated, why they are protesting against this bill? That is the primary questions. And with the due process of protest, so many people, so many farmers has committed suicides. So many farmers died because of severe cold. In the numbers of suicides, there are Sant Babaram, who was a spiritual guru. Then apart from him, there was a lawyer who committed suicide. There was senior superintendent of police who also committed suicides. What do you think? Are these people are not educated enough to understand this law? With due course of protest, 70 farmers have already died. We shall not say it is died, they are martyred because they are Shahid. According to the NCRB data, National Crime Record Bureau data, that itself is a government data that says that from 1995 to 2015, 2,96,438 farmers have died. And in 2019, 10,281 farmers committed suicides. So this is surprising data. Although this is not factual in nature, the numbers might be more than this. So please do not mess up with the farmers just because of the corporate interest. It is fact that these corporate people are funding you during elections. That doesn't mean you will exploit the farmers. In the last pandemic situation we have witnessed, when the country were reeling with the minus 24.7% of growth rate, at that period of time the agriculture sector was witnessing 3% of growth rate. That means agriculture sector was only the sector that has witnessed the positive growth rates. So why you are breaking the backbones of the farmers and backbone of the country as a whole? Therefore, I urge the government to take back the 3 laws by special parliamentary session. We don't need sloganeering. We don't need false promises like doubling the farmers' income by 2022. What we need is self-respect. And self-respect by implementation of Swaminathan Committee, by taking back the 3 laws. With that note, we conclude with this particular topic. Please like and most importantly share and subscribe our channels. Thanks for watching.